Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to the channel, and in this video we just picked up a 2016 Ford Mustang GT and we're going to start working on it. First thing we're going to do is get it outside and give it a good wash so we can start with the clean car and see what all it needs. Alright, so I got it rolled outside and it's a pretty clean car. It has higher miles, 114k, but it's got bird poop everywhere and it's really dusty, so let's give it a good clean and get it back inside on the lift. Alright, so I have a big mess outside, but it should be enough room to clean it. But first thing I'm going to do is pull the hood off. I already unbolted it earlier, but get this hood off. We took the hood off so we can go ahead and tape up the throttle body so it gets no water in there. So all this is all broken, but I believe the engine should be good. Doesn't look like it was too hard of an impact. So let's get that taped up and whatever. So we're gonna go ahead and just pull the airbox all the way off just to make it a little easier. It's already all broken. Alright, so that looks like everything that needs to be taped up to wash it. That's just a coolant line right there. But there's these air lines and the oil separator line and the throttle body, and let's start giving this thing a good clean. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get this cleaned off, and the best way to do is get a brand new razor blade and just go over everything. Alright guys, it's all cleaned up now. Got all the stuff off the windows and it's ready to be pushed back inside and get the interior cleaned out. Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and get this thing rolled back inside. Alright guys, so now I got the Mustang rolled inside. We're going to hop into the interior, detail the interior, and then we're going to get the car on the lift and see all the damage and what we'll need to order so we can get this thing back on the road. Alright guys, so it's not too dirty, but we're going to get all the trash out and clean everything out first, and then we're going to give it a quick vacuum and wipe down and then go from there. Alright guys, so I got a lot of the trash out from the interior on the Mustang, and I need to hook up a jump box, get the seats moving so we can vacuum it. I'll go ahead and vacuum it off camera, and then once it's done, we'll put it on the lift. Alright guys, so it's the next day here and I got the car pushed up all the way on the lift. Now I'm going to get the lift post under it, lift it up and see all the damage, start pulling it apart and get a parts list going so we can go ahead and order all the parts. Alright, so now I got the car on the lift ready to lift up. Let's go ahead and lift it up. So now the car is lifted up all the way. We could go ahead and inspect the rest of the damages. Looks like the frame rails are good.
We're going to need that front crash bar, all the radiators, cooling assembly, and looking down here, it's like the subframe's all damaged and torn up. So is the steering rack and the oil pan. So it's like we'll be replacing all that. Also the transmission cross member and more. Alright guys, so now that we have the Mustang on the lift, we're going to go ahead and start pulling everything apart and getting a parts list, seeing what all we need to order and get that ordered so we can continue on and get this thing finished as soon as possible. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and start with the front end, all the front end parts, take them off. Alright guys, so I got the whole front end pulled apart, everything's taken apart, and looking deeper into it, looks like we're going to need new pulleys and also new frame brackets on this side and on this side, and frame flange is bent a little bit on this side, but I should be able to unbend it. Shouldn't affect anything, but other than that, not too much work. I'm gonna go. Alright guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and get all this stuff cleaned up. Alright guys, so we got all that mess cleaned up in the front. Last thing we're gonna do in this video is pull the front fenders off, because both of them are damaged, and we might as well go with some upgraded ones. We'll see what we get, but let's go ahead and pull those fenders off and call it a day. Alright guys, I'm going to start with removing the wheel so we can get the fender liner out, and then we can go from there. So we got the fender liner pulled out. Now there's 2 bolts down here, 2 in there, I believe 2 or 3 up top, and 1 in this corner, and the fender comes off. So let's get that off. So I got the fender pulled off all the way, and this bracket's damaged, so I think it might be part of the fender, but we'll order a new one of those. There's that fender. I'm going to go ahead and remove the other fender. We're off video and catch you guys back when I do so. Alright, so we got both the fenders pulled off. This one has less damage under it. That bracket's good, and the wheel's good. Everything suspension wise is good, but this is the main damage. Gonna have to get that pulled out or hammered out a little bit, and then maybe somewhere in the suspension something might be bent, but we'll look into that more. But the car has some nice parts. The passenger fender looks good, but it's damaged on this corner, and then it's got some deep scratches right there, so that's no big deal. We'll just go ahead and order a new fender. Alright guys, so that's going to be a wrap for today's video. Thanks for watching. In this video we got a lot of work done. We got the whole front end taken apart. We inspected all the damages, and we got a parts list, so we're going to go ahead and order everything so we can get this car back on the road ASAP. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, and don't miss the next one.